Good morning. Morning? It is not morning anymore, is it? Afternoon. Good afternoon, Rowan. It is Wednesday. There's been a break in the clouds. And we are not drinking in the garden, but this is your finest cheap beer there is. Not really. I don't have major opinions about beer. But what I have noticed lately is a lot of my seedlings are getting chewed on. Some of my other bigger plants are also getting chewed on, but only on the lower leaves. And I have yet to find an actual bug on the leaves, which leads me to believe I got pill bugs and slugs going crazy at night. So we're gonna set a beer trap. Okay, so this is the corn bed. And you can kind of see here on some of the leaves, they just have this damage here, but there's no bugs on the leaves. Here's another good one, which is why I think that it's probably the little roly-poly pill bugs or slugs. So I just made a hole here in the in the mulch, and then I have two little plastic cups. So this is because at some point this cup is going to be full of beer and full of slugs and pill bugs. And this way, if I've got two, I can just pull this one out, dump it out, and put it back and refill it, and not have to worry about digging a new hole or the dirt caving in on me or anything like that. So let's get this a little bit deeper, because you want it, the top of the cup, to be level with the soil. Also, it helps because while we're doing this, which is really difficult to do one-handed, you're just gonna get some dirt in the cup, and that's okay. So we're gonna put this back around here, just kind of pat this back in with our soil, put the mulch back. Leave that be. This is probably the finest camera work I've ever done. All right, so now we're gonna pull this cup up, dump the dirt out of it, and then we're gonna take our beer. Now, what I have found and what I have heard from other people is if you are a beer drinker and you've got nice, good quality beer in your fridge, do not use it. They will not like it. Last year, I even had like a Rogue Yingling still in my fridge, and they wanted nothing to do with it. But as soon as I bought something really cheap that's a light beer, they were all about it. So we've got our beer. This is just the kind they had at the store. You can use cans or bottles or whatever. Just cheap, light beer is what you want. And you're gonna fill it up, and then by tomorrow morning there will already be tons of things in here. So it's very gross when you come back out and see a cup full of roly-polies and slugs in it, but it is very effective. So that's what I'm gonna try for now. If it seems like, one, I'm not catching very many, or two, I'm catching a lot but everything's still getting eaten on, then I might try some other measures in case it's not one of those two things that's snacking on my plants. But for now, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. We have a ton of them in the yard. Anytime I move something, there's just always tons of roly-polies in there, and I know we have a lot of slugs. So this worked for me last year. Hopefully it works again. Cheers. I'm not gonna drink this. All right, we have all of our beer traps set. I have another can with me just as we go around to show you the rest of some of the foam settles. I might top some of them off, but for now, let's see what's up in the garden. So again, we're still in the corn bed, but the pumpkins that I planted, the small sugar, sweet meat, this is technically a squash, but it's big like a pumpkin, and then another small sugar here, have sprouted, which is oh so wonderful. The corn is doing good, I assume. It looks like it's doing good, other than where it's being chewed on. This corn here is the glass gem corn, and the leaves are really cool, and I'm hoping the leaves are supposed to look like that. and that is not a sign of some sort of deficiency, but I should look that up. The sunflowers there in the corner are doing well. They're tiny and you can't really see them, but basil here has sprouted. Cucamelon is up. Armenian cucumbers on this side, and one has finally sprouted, which is great. My other two cucumbers here, the Beat Alpha and the Silver Slicer, have sprouted. Once everything in this area gets a little bit bigger, I'll come in with some more mulch. Nasturtium, noodle beans are doing great, and we've got more little trees trying to grow all over the garden from all the little helicopters that fell. So I'm constantly pulling out little tiny maple trees. And the tomatoes look like they're doing really well. I know I mentioned to you the other day that I felt like everything was growing really slowly, but I mean, look how beautiful these babies are. This one, I was already pulling suckers off of it, and I think I'm gonna have to pull some more. So that's wild. Oh, here's my little beer trap in this bed. Give it a little bit more. So yeah, everything seems to be doing really well. Look at this one. This one's got some suckers down in here too already. So let's pull those babies off. But yeah, my little time. Here's all my pepper rocks that I painted that I haven't placed out anywhere yet because I haven't planted peppers, but I've coated them in like a clear coating, and it's obviously not working very well. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. Angel's idea was to cover them in resin, which is definitely a good idea for weatherproofing, but might wait until next year to remedy that situation. This is chamomile that volunteered, and I'm just letting it go crazy. The garlic is looking good. We'll get back to that in a second. I wanted to show you, this is the arugula that I let go to seed, and you can see all these little pods on here. And I don't know if I can bust one open one-handed. Let's see. There's this whole thing is just loaded with pods, so I'm gonna have enough seeds no matter what. So I keep kind of pulling them off to see the seeds on the inside as the pods get bigger. Oh, there's one on my fingernail. Oh, yeah, I'm not filming my hand. So you can kind of see the little seeds that are in there. So I'm assuming that this is similar to other plants that pod with seeds like this, that I just need to wait for them to dry up. You can see some that are getting a little scragglier, so we'll see. But this is my old arugula. I'm with you. I love arugula. It is my favorite leafy green, but it doesn't like our heat. Okay. The next very exciting garlic development. Where was it? Here's one. We have scapes. So on hardneck garlic, you get these things called scapes that come up, and this is the seed, what would eventually become the seed pod. So once this grows up and then the top of it will start to curl, then you can snip it and you can eat it, and it is so good. It is so good. Like, I'm just as excited for the garlic scapes as I am the garlic. The first year I did a CSA, when I was still back in Minnesota, I got garlic scapes. Never heard of them, never had them before, and I was converted. They're amazing. They taste just like garlic, but they're not quite as pungent. You can eat them raw, you can saute them up. A little garlic scape and some guacamole is so good. I cannot wait. I'm so excited to have scapes. Okay. Other than my very exciting, there's another one, development of garlic scapes. We've got, this is some summer squash here. You can see again, the leaves are getting just absolutely chewed on. I put a beer trap over there in the in-ground bed, hoping that it will attract some of these that are in the beds here, but we'll see. That's more squash up there. Garlic, potatoes, not much change happening here. I skipped this bed. This is our okra. It is doing its thing. It's starting to get its true leaves. I had one spot where that hole there where nothing came up, but I had two come up here, so I might move one and see if it survives because I need to get rid of one anyways. And then more sunflowers, more melons. This borage here on the end, I did not think was going to survive. It did not look happy after transplant, but now it's doing good. Tomatillos are flowering again, and I've just decided to let them. This one's probably a little too small to be flowering, but it's just, they're trying so hard. They want to make them flowers, so I've stopped picking them off. This is my only struggling tomato, and it's my triple crop, which last year did really great. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on. I did give everything a little fish emulsion about a week after I transplanted it, but I don't know. I've never seen a tomato plant look like that, so I'm gonna have to do some research on what's going on there. But I did just notice we have bean sprouts. So these are the purple potted beans here. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. So if that one doesn't survive, this one here is the mortgage lifter. So I might just let two stalks grow on it, or I might root a sucker if I find one somewhere. Hopefully it bounces back though, or maybe this is just what I don't think that's what its leaves are supposed to look like though. I don't remember it looking like that last year. So I really like that tomato, so I'd like to save it, but we'll see what happens. But all the other tomatoes look great. Look, we got more suckers here. I'm considering letting some of them have two main stems, especially in this bed because there's only 4 tomatoes on this side. But we'll see. I want to make sure everything has good airflow and whatnot, so we'll see. Little ground cherries here in the end are also just doing the most to set flowers, and I think I'm just going to start letting them, and they'll get, these things explode, so I'm super excited to have those. So that's the state of where we're at. Like I said, it feels like everything is just growing so slowly, and I just keep reminding myself that in like a month from now, everything is going to be huge and lush, and these these arch trellises will probably be covered in food, and the okra will be huge, and it will probably, it'll be okay. But for now, it feels like everything is growing really slowly, and the panic sets in of, did I do something wrong? Is my compost bad? All of that, which I know is not true, but anxiety brain, right? So for now, we've got beer traps set so our seedlings stop eating. Everything is in the ground except for the peppers. We have a few more nights in the 40s, but all of next week currently is supposed to be 50s and 60s. So I'm going to keep watching it. I really want a really great pepper harvest this year. I did not get very many last year, and I think it was because I planted them too early and they got stunted. So they can keep hanging out in my living room for as long as they need to, but I'm hoping that our 10-day forecast stays what it is right now, and we're up in the 60s, the 50s and the 60s in the overnights starting next week, so I can get them out and they can get growing because they are ready to be transplanted. So I did already top them, and they're starting to bush out from there, so that's great. And we'll just keep updating with how everything's going. But there's my little chair that I moved so in the morning I can drink my coffee and sit out here. But I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday and everything is going splendidly for you, and in no amount of time will these be covered in wonderful food. I found this on the way back to the house, so I will leave you with mushrooms growing in the compost, which tells me that my compost is in excellent shape. So soon these tomato plants will be huge and it will all be worth it.